This adorable little lady here, this is Celine Tam, and you may know her best from her time on America's Got Talent. Remember this? How could you forget? What an inspiring, motivational story that was. This little, tiny, adorable little girl, little lady with lungs like an absolute beast, blaring out big songs like Celine Dion, right? You know how long ago that was? That was in 2017. We're talking 6 years ago, and we still remember that. So let me just recap a little bit about Celine Tam for you before we get into the story of where she is now and her life before America's Got Talent. So she was a singer, as you probably remember, on season 12, which, as I've said, was 2017, 6 years ago. Yes, that was really that long ago. She auditioned, you first ever heard about her 6 years ago. 2017 was 6 years ago. That is crazy. But I digress. She was 9 years old at the time. She looked like this. She is now 15 years old. How old does that make you feel? Because it makes me feel bloody old. She didn't win AGT. No, she didn't. But she was a show favourite. Her audition got 35 million views on YouTube on Talent Recap. On another separate account, it got 38 million views. On another one, it got 32 million views. She's one of the most viewed auditions in the entirety of America's Got Talent, Britain's Got Talent, Anything's Got Talent history. We're talking millions upon millions upon millions of views for her audition. So as you can imagine, she was due to be a big success, and everyone remembers her from this. Everyone remembers 9 years old Selena, but she is now 15. So before we get to where she is now, it's always good to go to where she was, the story of Selena, a bit of background. So she is from Hong Kong. Funnily enough, everyone said she's like the next Celine Dion, she's the Hong Kong Celine Dion. She sang a Celine Dion song. She was a big Celine Dion fan, and her name was Celine Dion. Well, that is not by coincidence. Her parents actually are massive fans of Celine Dion, and she was named after Celine Dion. She even has a sister called Dion. So we have Celine and Dion. How mad is that? Don't know which is the better name. I like Dion. If they're both Tams, Celine Tam, that's nice, but Dion Tam, it's got a bit of a ring to it, right? I like the name Dion. At just 3 years old, she began her vocal lessons with her dad, who, funnily enough, was a vocal coach, so that made a lot of sense. She competed in singing competitions all over the world during her younger years, even before America's Got Talent. And here's a little factoid for you. Before America's Got Talent, she also competed on season 10 of Britain's Got Talent, but her audition was not televised. It never made it to TV. I wonder why. And this is despite the fact that she actually proceeded past the audition. But she never got to enter live shows. They kind of all said yes to her and then thought, we won't get her out for live shows. I wonder why, considering the next year she was so successful with America's Got Talent. And now let's skip ahead. America's Got Talent, we've done that. So we've started with the middle of the story. Then we've gone to the beginning. Now we're going to go to after AGT in 2019. Celine competed on the World's Got Talent special held in China. She received a golden buzzer, which sent her to the top 8. She did not make the top 2, however. She did do that with an original song, so she took up songwriting after America's Got Talent, which is a good sign because it's one thing singing someone else's song, but it's another thing being able to write it. Even though you can just hire a songwriter, it's nice to have your own personality in there, isn't it? She became quite the activist as well, so it's not just singing. When it comes to her activism journey, we have in 2020, she posted a detailed YouTube video centered around advocating against animal products. Then in 2021, she announced that she had become a Room to Read ambassador. Now, Room to Read is this global non-profit which is focused on literacy and girls' education. She even became an author when she was just 13. When she was 13 years old, she released her own book, which was titled Harper. And that is an activism thing as well. That raises awareness about the harmful effects of bullying. But she still sings. She's still semi-active on social media. She's got Insta posts like this and this and this. And she also has an eclectic mix on YouTube. She's not posted in a while. But if you look at just what she's posted in the last year, we've got some fun home type of videos. You've got the activism stuff. And you've got a little bit of singing still. So my conclusion time is that she is doing wonderfully. I think everyone thinks she's fallen off a bit because people only seem to remember her from AGT, and that was 6 years ago. But what you've got to remember, she's only 15 years old. She doesn't seem to be focusing on singing as much as you would think. I mean, she sings a lot, but she also, especially on social, seems to just be doing whatever it is she wants to do. Maybe she's saving that up and she's thinking, hey, let me get my education. Let me use my platform for good first, and then I'll get more into singing once it's over. But that doesn't mean she don't sing. She still is definitely going around singing. And my big conclusion is there's always a worry. When I see these kids on AGT, I always think, do they want to do it or have they been pushed into it from the parents? And when I was looking at Celine's background and found out that she started singing at 3 years old and her dad was giving her singing lessons and her dad is a vocal coach, I thought, wow, they're really pushing it. Then you find out that she's named after Celine Dion. It paints the picture that her parents are kind of forcing her down this route, that they're forcing her to be a singer and that they're forcing her to perform. And, you know, when does she get a say in it? But don't go judging just yet, because when you look at the full story, it doesn't seem like that at all. Just the background screams pushy parents. But when you look at it, you don't seem to get that. She seems to be doing her own thing, what she wants to do. You don't get that pushy parent vibe at all. So maybe she always did want to be a singer and the parents were just being encouraging, because I don't think they are pushy parents. And my overall opinion is that she does seem just like a very nice young lady. She seems very authentic, and it might seem like she's changed drastically, being that we know her from being 9 years old and she's now 15, but we still must remember that she is only 15 years old, so the story is not yet over. There's plenty more to see, and personally, I'm excited to see it. So that is the recap, a little nostalgia hit for you. And hey, if you're a big fan and you kept up with her and you followed her along and I missed anything out that you think will be an important resource for this video, do leave it in the comments so that other people who are watching it can scroll down and they can read your very helpful comments and learn even more about her. And with that being said, I hope you felt a good hit of nostalgia. I hope it's knocked you back on your chair forward a little bit, it's knocked your hand down, and it's made you hit that subscribe button, because that'll be delightful. Do check out some of my other videos. I've got all sorts on here. I'm updating. It's like every other bloody day. Today, tomorrow I've got a video coming out. The next day I've got a video coming out. So join in this community of this pure content. Get involved. Get involved. Stick a like here. Stick a comment here. Or don't. It's up to you, really. Do whatever you want. Enjoy the rest of your day. I shall see you in the next video, maybe, and maybe not. It's up to you.